Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Crystal and I am a stay-at-home homeschool mama to one kiddo, and we are about to enter our first grade year of homeschooling, but we've been doing it for about 3.5 years now. On Mondays, we are currently doing a series of videos all about homeschooling. Why we homeschool, how to get started homeschooling. I'm going to do one on keeping a portfolio, our classroom organization, and all that good stuff. So keep an eye out for those on Mondays. But I also always have cook with me's, clean with me's. On Tuesdays and Thursdays are vlogs and grocery hauls and you name it. There's all kinds of stuff on here. Today we are doing why we choose to homeschool. I do want to start by saying that I completely understand that homeschooling is not the perfect fit for everyone. I agree that homeschooling is not the perfect fit for everyone. It does take a lot of time and planning, and I understand that not everybody is a stay-at-home mom, not everybody has the option. There are people who work that homeschool, but again, their story is not your story. We as parents have the chance and the opportunity to make the best decisions for us and our family. And that's what we've done. We've made the choice and the decision of what is best for us, and it is up to you to make the choice and the decision of what's best for you and your family. I by no means place any judgment or look down upon anyone who chooses to go to public school or private school, umbrella school, any of that. All of our stories are different, all of our choices are different, and what we need is all different. I completely respect that, and I hope that that is returned. Now I have here 11 reasons why we choose to homeschool. They are in no particular order of importance. There's no ranking. When we very first started homeschooling years ago, I wrote down a list of my whys. Why I wanted to homeschool. What made homeschooling fit our family better than sending her to a public or private school. A lot of us can't afford private school, and public school just isn't a good fit for every person or every child. So these are our reasons why homeschooling is perfect for us. Number one is safety. This absolutely is probably, I know I said there's no ranking, but this is absolutely probably our number one reason as to why. We don't have to worry about any of the school shootings going on. We don't have to worry about all of the teachers locally around us that have been getting arrested nonstop for just very inappropriate things that they are doing and or trying to do to students. I do know that that's not all of them, and I'm not public school, I'm not shaming any teachers. You guys have an amazing job. That is terribly hard, and you don't get paid enough if you are a teacher. I respect you, and I by no means am trying to shame a public school teacher. This is the system that is failing everyone, I feel. We don't have to deal with as many bullies. Yes, she does have to deal with them at the parks and Chuck E. Cheese and going to the bowling alley and anything that she has to do with other kids. Sometimes like her cousins or friends' kids and stuff like that we've had to deal with, and that's just part of life. And she does get to see that that's part of life, and she does get to see how to handle it appropriately without being stuck next to said person in a classroom for 8 hours a day. The ability to work at her pace. If she is struggling in something, then we have the ability to take a little bit longer and focus on it instead of being like, well, everyone else in the class has moved on, so you have to as well, whether you know it or not. Or having to stay after school to get a little extra help. Or if something comes easy to her, instead of having to wait for the rest of the class to hurry up and catch up to her so they could move on to something else, she can just move on to the next part. That is one of the major pros to homeschooling, I feel. I did make notes. I didn't write down my reasonings or anything, but main topics, just so, because when it comes to homeschooling, if you haven't noticed, I could ramble and ramble and ramble because I am very passionate about it for us. Again, the dissatisfaction with the level of education in public school. Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of goes along with the second reason of just being held back when they could move forward. My daughter, now, by no means am I going, ooh, my kid's smarter than your kid, because there's tons of stuff that she doesn't do or doesn't know or whatever that kids her age do. Comparing children is completely unfair, plain and simple. So I don't mean it like that, but like, for instance, she loves science. When I was her age, I didn't even know what science was, first of all. And second of all, when I was in public school, in elementary school, in the beginning of middle school, I hated science. I dreaded going to that class because I was not interested whatsoever. And I was like, I'm never going to use this. This doesn't interest me whatsoever. Why do I have to do this? But in her case, science is her favorite. She just turned 5 in May and she's already doing 2nd grade science work. So if she was in public school right now, she would be going into kindergarten. She would not be interested in any of the stuff that they're doing. More flexible schedule would be our reason number 4. I mean, if you've seen my vlogs or anything lately, my life has just been crazy busy. We had to do school in the truck the other day waiting for Grandma to get out of her doctor's appointment. Like, I climbed in the back seat because it was pouring down rain and I didn't want to get out and walk around. So I climbed in the back seat and we did school in the back seat of the car. She loved it. She thought it was fun, which is great. She didn't mind, and that's what we did. We make it fit and we make it work. There are many days where I am at Grandma's from like 10 o'clock in the morning, if not earlier, and I don't get to leave until 7, 8 o'clock at night. There's many of those days. So on those days, if we didn't have the ability to, for one, take schoolwork with us, it wouldn't get done. And for 2, if she was in public school, I wouldn't be home when the bus dropped her off, or B, be there to pick her up when school is out. There's no way I could make it. And the very few people that we have in our lives that would be able to go get her for us work during those hours as well. So there's no way. Like, it's not feasible. It wouldn't work for us. And quite frankly, we learn more in 3 or 4 hours of our day than they do in 8 hours. Better test scores and college preparation. Plain and simple. There's no distractions. Now, we do at times take school out to places like to the park where she can see other kids playing, but she has to finish first, because not everything in your life is going to be in a silent, quiet room with you and your mom. So I do try to take her to Starbucks. When we were doing the Acellus, I canceled that because we just no longer needed it. We're wrapping up our school year now. We've got about 2.5 weeks left, 3 weeks left, I think. Yeah, 3 weeks left. Goodness, time is slipping away from me. But we have 3 weeks left, and then we start 1st grade. And with kindergarten, if you saw that video, I kind of created our own curriculum with little things here and there. And I used Acellus to just make sure I was teaching the right things at the right time and wasn't getting away from myself or getting behind. In 1st grade, we've got good, nice curriculum that is laid out for us. We've got each subject covered. We've even got a couple extras thrown in there. And if she does them, fantastic. And if she doesn't, it's 1st grade. Something extra isn't needed. But a lot of the extras is stuff that she's wanted to do and has been interested in learning about. And we've kind of touched on it. Like, the kid is reading the Space Atlas book as her nighttime story. So if that explains to you, she loves she loves taking in knowledge and she loves learning new things. So to me, it's just amazing that we have the opportunity to do so. I don't know how many other channels you watch that concern homeschool, if that's what you are here for, but there is a family that is also on YouTube called Our Tribe of Many. They are about to have their 10th kid, which is amazing. I think I wish I had the time, patience, and ability to do so, but none of those things are there for me right now. But they're about to have their 10th kid, and they have a boy who is 15 and a girl who is 14, I believe. They're 14 and 15. I believe the boy is 15 and the girl is 14. But they are in high school, obviously, and they just enrolled in college. So they can do their college work and come home and finish their homeschooling. I know some schools allow dual enrollment and stuff like that in your senior year, but they're going to have their AAs before they graduate high school, which is just astounding to me. I think that's amazing. That opportunity is there is just amazing. To create an atmosphere that is positive and safe is absolutely a great place to put at number 6. For us, we just want to make learning fun for her. She doesn't have to worry about getting picked on. She doesn't have to worry about being bullied. She doesn't have to worry about being talked down to because she doesn't understand something as quickly as some others. And also, she doesn't have to be picked on because she's moving forward a little faster than others. She doesn't have to worry about that. We have a fun, positive school day. I have not always been the perfect mother. I have not always been the most patient, but I absolutely try my best to make sure that I am as patient as possible when we are in school because I want her to love it, and she does. Number 7, more one-on-one time. Absolutely. Now, are there days where I feel like I could cry myself to sleep and throw my hands up and be like, how am I ever going to do this for years to come? Yes, there definitely has been those days. 5-year-olds have attitudes. They are still figuring themselves out. They're still figuring their emotions out. And it's up to us to teach them how to handle those emotions and act accordingly. And more, to me, I feel like more one-on-one time, instead of just being like, all right, you had an attitude, go to the principal's office, or you and this kid don't agree on something, so you're in trouble, let's separate you. Like, at home, not only do we get to teach her right from wrong and how to handle things the appropriate way, we also get to build a bond that I wouldn't trade for anything. There are absolutely days where we have horrible days and she doesn't listen and she wants to pitch a fit in the middle of the store and you name it. She's a kid. She's not perfect. Homeschoolers are not perfect. I know that's a common misconception of, oh, if I homeschool my kid, then they're going to be perfect and listen to me all the time. That's not true at all. They are normal kids just like every other kid. They don't have bad influences from other kids, which is also another great reason that I don't think I put down here. But they're still kids. To instill the love of learning instead of the rate of learning. That's pretty self-explanatory. I want her to love to learn. I don't want her to go, well, this kid is doing this, so I have to do this. Hurry up and teach me. Like, I want her to love what she's doing. And if she loves something enough to focus on it a little longer, great. Then she'll remember it for forever. And we are in no rush. She just turned 5 in May. It is now July. And in October, she'll be going into first grade. She's doing just fine. And if for whatever reason first grade doesn't click and we have to do it again, okay, that's what we'll do. Instilling confidence and developing character, giving her the freedom to be herself. Yes. She is definitely an amazing little girl, and I hate the thought that sending her to a classroom full of a bunch of other kids could possibly alter that. If she wants to wear mismatched clothes, it may drive me bonkers, but I'm gonna let her. If she wants to wear her hair in a funny, funky way, obviously I would have no problem with that. If she wants to, her favorite thing to do is to walk around acting like an animal. She acts like a cat and a dog all day long. Pretty sure she thinks she's a dog. I actually tease my husband all the time, telling him that we need to hurry up and have a second kid so she understands that she's a child and not a dog, because her brother and sister are dogs. She can be smart and not be picked on for being a nerd. She can not understand something and not be bullied for being dumb. If you went to public school, you know it happens. She can wear what she wants. She can wear what she feels comfortable with. And what I find funny about this, when I wrote this down, I was thinking about it. Now, the things that I used to wear and what I got picked on for in school, and all the kids around me that got picked on by other kids, all that stuff is cool now. Like, everybody wants to wear glasses for whatever reason. People wear fake glasses now. We got picked on for wearing glasses and just silly things. Like, those things are the things that are cool now. I want her to be 100% confident in who she is, what she does, and that's it. I didn't have that freedom. I definitely was being molded, and it took me a long time to start figuring out who I was actually because of that, for multiple reasons. And to create a space where learning is based on them and not the national average. Again, this kind of goes with going at their own pace, learning about what they want to learn about, and not worrying about, well, the national average of kids in your class range and your age range is blah, 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 so this is where you need to be. If she goes higher than that, fantastic. If she's not quite there yet, that's okay. We'll keep going until she is. Tailoring their education to their interests and gifts and learning styles, and just educate outside the box. More lifestyle skills, like I said, budgeting, paying bills, taxes. We didn't learn anything about tax. We learned how to write a check. We learned how to fill out an envelope. I learned how to figure out square roots and square footage and all these things, but no one taught me how to do my own taxes. And that's something that as an adult you have to do every year. If you have the money to pay someone, great, but if you don't, you got to figure it out and don't do anything wrong. So that's kind of something that's important that we learn. That pretty much concludes our list. I could honestly go on and name probably 50 more, but I wanted to keep this one a little shorter and sweeter. So I'm going to wrap it up there. So make sure you keep an eye out, like I said, on Mondays for other homeschooling videos. There's going to be tons, like I said, classroom organization, what curriculum we're using for first grade, just more general information about homeschooling and so forth. Those are on Mondays. Tuesdays and Thursdays are vlogs, and then Wednesdays and Fridays I will kind of mix up between DIYs, painting, grocery hauls, cook with me's, stuff like that. So thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me about homeschooling. Make sure you comment down below if there's anything that you would like to add or say, and I love talking to you guys down there, so make sure you do. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it and would like to see more. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already so you are notified the next time that I post a video. And we will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.